FNaF news. I'm your host, the Teeny Muffin, and today we're going to be talking about Funko, Youtooz, Pillow Pets, Security Breach, and FNaF Plus. So starting off with the Funko news, we actually got two new reveals for stuff that's going to be coming out eventually. We don't know exactly when yet. I assume December, because these are two Walmart exclusive pieces of merch. The first one here being a plush, which is the Frostbite BB plush. You know, that's why I assume it's going to be December time, because it's a winter character. The other one's also winter, but let's take a look at this one first. You can see it's Frostbite BB. They use the same body type as the regular BB plush, which I've seen some people not be the biggest fan about, but I mean, it makes sense, because it's skin of BB, so of course it's going to be the same type of plushie. And I honestly think it looks really good. Like, the little spikes of ice coming out of the top of his head, really good. You know, you would think they're just gonna have some type of little fabric coming off like they've been doing with the hooks, and you know, Captain Foxy's hat is just a little piece of fabric, but for these little spikes of ice coming out of Frostbite BB's head, they actually made them like the same thing as Stanley's horn. So I think that's cool, and the cracks in him aren't printed on either. They're actually like little sewn in cracks. That's pretty cool. I mean, the rest of the little spikes on him are fabric, but that makes sense because they're tiny. The big ones are very cool though. Yeah, and this guy, from what I can see, the only printed on stuff is the inside, like his big open wound that's full of ice. That part, it seems like, is the only part that's printed on, and even then, it still has a border that's sewn in. It's not like they just printed it on like they do with a lot of stuff. I mean, like, I've seen some people say it doesn't look like a FNaF character much. That's just because the skin doesn't look much like a FNaF character. I think the plush itself is very cool. And then the second thing is also very cool. You can see we've got an Artic Ballora figure. You can see in the box it's Walmart exclusive, and the box also seems very similar to the Freddy Frostbear figure. So I guess they're kind of the same line of figures, even though they were released way far apart. But this figure looks very cool. Of course, it is Ballora, but it's a skin of it. It's got a bunch of ice shards on it. It's going to be transparent. You know, the transparent stuff is never that good, you know, a little unfortunate, but it's made of ice, so it makes sense. Yeah, it's got all the detailing from what I can see. You know, a lot of it doesn't have any really coloration on it, but it is just made of ice, so that makes sense. Yeah, I think this figure is honestly really cool. Ballora skin's pretty interesting to get. Covered in spikes is pretty sweet. I think this is a good figure. You know, there's only two things that we can see so far in this wave of merch, but they are two very cool things. So now into the Youtooz news. So on the Youtooz Discord, they actually posted an image here. They said, "Did you say Shadow Mangle?" And then an image showing artwork of part of a Shadow Mangle figure. Shadow Mangle is actually the Mangle that's in the hard mode of Vent Repair in Help Wanted. It's Mangle, but just completely black. And then Kane Carter was curious, like, why did you make Shadow Mangle and not just regular Mangle? And then, you know, Youtooz replied saying, "We thought Shadow Mangle would fit better into the VR wave." Kane Carter said there's a drop specifically for Help Wanted, and Youtooz said Dreadbear, Grim Foxy, Glitch Trap, and Shadow Mangle. You know, weird lineup there, but awesome lineup, you know? So it's, yeah, I mean, it's a little strange for them to do Shadow Mangle, but I mean, I don't care. A Mangle figure is going to be really cool, especially because it's an actual game-accurate Mangle figure. We never really get that with Funko, except for the Mystery Mini, and then the Heroes World figure, so this is going to be awesome to have. And then, yeah, as you can see there, we're also going to be getting Dreadbear, Grim Foxy, and Glitch Trap figures, which are also all going to be really cool. Big fan of all those characters. Cursed Dreadbear is the coolest thing. Speaking of Cursed Dreadbear, happy Halloween, I believe. This video should be releasing on Halloween, if I get it out quick enough. So, since it's Halloween, you know, trick or treat, I choose treat. Can you please leave a like on the video as a treat? That'd be awesome. Another Youtooz thing here is on the Discord, Impasta asked, what's the theme of the next FNaF wave? And Youtooz, or I mean Boss Baby, I'm just gonna call him Youtooz, right? Replied with a purple heart. It's a bit of an interesting thing, a purple heart. This would of course make you think of that purple guy figure that they teased before. Although this is a theme of a wave, I don't think they're gonna have an entire wave of just purple guy. And speaking of the purple guy figure, Youtooz made a tweet saying "Fear him," with an image showing the back of its box as well as the head of the man himself. On the back of it says, "They are home with me, their happiest day," which is apparently a quote from the Silver Eyes. I think it looks pretty cool. The figure, also the artwork on the box is very cool. Curious to see what the rest of the figure looks like as well as the rest of the box art. Yeah, I don't know what the next wave's gonna be. Something Purple Heart related. I'm just gonna assume it's Cursed Dreadbear. you know, because that is the thing that they were teasing, and they did have the complete artwork, it seemed, for the Shadow Mangle figure. So I think that's going to be the next wave, but maybe not. We'll see, I guess. So now onto that Pillow Pet news. So Pillow Pets has just revealed a prototype for their Pillow Pet Freddy. As you can see here, it pretty much just looks exactly like those bootleg ones, except it's like a darker brown. The ears are a different color from the head. It is just a prototype, so maybe it would look a little better when they actually make it. But, I mean, it's cool. An official FNaF Pillow Pet would be pretty interesting to have. You know, I'm not sure if I'm too big of a fan of it, but I think it still would be pretty cool. So now, the security breach news. It's a little bit of strange stuff. So the security breach Steam page actually updated. They changed the banner to this image, which has Shattered Glamrock Freddy, the rest of the Shattered characters, and then they also did a new background image, which showed Vanny here against a wall with a flashlight, and then endoskeleton hands reaching for her. And then along with this, they also added new gameplay images. These two images from Kane Carter, you compiled them. The old ones here, and then there are the new ones, which as you can see are a lot better. They're got way better graphics. They look very good. So, you know, with all these changes, you know, it's fair to think, are we going to be getting an update soon? You know, graphics update? But then Steel Wool just tweeted, you know, there's a Halloween sale. So go pick that up. So that was very disappointing, you know. I had my hopes kind of low because, of course, stuff like this happens a lot where we're like, oh, this is going to be crazy, and then it's nothing. So, you know, I was initially thinking that, and then I got convinced that something cool might be happening. It didn't. Not yet, at least. You know, it's weird for them to do all this stuff just for a sale. I guess it makes sense, though. They're trying to do better screenshots so people see the game and it looks really good, and then they want to buy it now that it's on sale. Speaking of security breach, not really much news here, but Hot Topic has just made a new shirt. As you can see here, it's got all the characters on it. I mean, not all of them, but all the main characters on it. So there's that, if you're interested in that. Starry Burby on Twitter also found this shirt, which shows the main four and Vanny's eyes in the background with this blue pattern down at the bottom. Along with this, a beanie with the 4 main security breach animatronics has also been found on the Spencer's website. And then the little bit of FNaF Plus news here. It's not really anything too interesting. It's just that I guess he forgot to include a light bulb in the supply closet, so he added that, and there's now a light bulb in the supply closet. I believe that's all. Actually, while we're on the track of Fanverse, one last little piece of news here is that Nixon, the creator of the TJoC Creation, made a tweet here with a video also saying still playing with your eyes. The video, I'll play it here, is just a little peek at the new model for the Ignited Freddy animatronic. Pretty hard to see, you know, a lot of static. You can see it's mostly his, like, bottom half of his head area, and then, like, a little upper half of his torso, and then at the very end you can see more of the top of his head. So not too much there, but it's still pretty cool and just in time for Halloween. Before I end the video, I do want to say thank you to my channel members. Very cool of you guys, thank you. Cool people here. But that is the end of the video. If you want to subscribe, click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch one of my last news videos, you can click that button over there. And if you want to see some other video I made, click that button over there. And I'll see you when we get some more news.